Hello everyone, how's it going? This is Trikiwi, and joining me for this video is Gameboy Luke.
You're right guys, it's Gameboy Luke here, and hi! Oh my god.
You okay? Anyway, as all of you already know, Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre are new forms that were introduced for the remakes of Ruby and Sapphire. Along with all the new Mega Evolutions, Luke and I are pretty hyped for the Primal forms. However, the new feature made us wonder, what if more Primal forms were available and what Pokemon would actually get one? So we're going to share our list with you guys. This list is simply our opinions, but be sure to tell us what Pokemon you would like to see with a Primal form in the comments below. Also, we are grouping these Pokemon together, so if there's two Pokemon in the same number, don't freak out. Alright, let's go ahead and get it started.
So let's go into the honorable mentions first. We have Xerneas and Yveltal, who we did consider for Prime Evolutions, but they're not old enough. We don't feel like they're old enough. Plus, X and Y hasn't been out long enough for us to speculate those legendaries. There isn't much evidence and stuff. So Kyurem is also an honorable mention because that thing has way too many forms as it is. I mean, it's completely possible for it to have a Prime Evolution, but it's just not. It just doesn't feel like it's got too many forms. It's too much. There's too much going on with it. So let's get into this. So in the number 5 spot we have Jirachi. Now Jirachi is a really cool Pokemon, I do like Jirachi, and the main reason we picked Jirachi is because it's part of the 3rd gen legendaries, so it may be possible that they might incorporate a primal evolution for Jirachi, so, you know, maybe?
And along with that, we are fully aware that Jirachi is more or less of an event Pokemon, but what if given Jirachi a primal form, we'll incorporate it into the story somehow? I mean, you never know. Despite being remakes, they are adding a lot of new content, but it is still very unlikely that they would ever include Jirachi into the story. But I wish that they would.
Are you kidding me?
You see what I did there?
Shelby, no. No.
I'm sorry.
And then there may be a possible way of catching Jirachi in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, so there you go.
Moving on to number 4, we have Ho-Oh and Lugia, which a lot of fans like to call the Tower Duo. Though these legendaries were not around during the creation of the Pokemon universe, it's still safe to say that these guys have been around for a very long time. They are viewed as the guardians of the sky and sea, but the coolest thing about them is that they each rule over a trio of legendary Pokemon. Starting off with Ho-Oh, it created the legendary dogs, or cats, or whatever they are. It's said that Entei, Raikou, and Suicune were once non-legendary Pokemon who were trapped in the brass tower when it was burning down. That probably sucked. But anyway, Ho-Oh showed up, revived them, and made them into the legendary pains that we know and love now. That's probably the most interesting origin story for any sort of Pokemon. But anyway, Lugia has a trio of its own.
So Lugia's obviously been around for a long time. He is the guardian of the sea after all. And most importantly, the legendary birds actually share a master in Lugia. Lugia is like the all-seeing, like the master of the legendary birds.
So we could possibly assume that Lugia actually created the legendary birds, just like Ho-Oh created the legendary dogs.
And not to mention, Professor Oak actually states that Articuno and Moltres' combined powers of ice and fire are the source and cradle of the oceans, and that Zapdos' electric energy creates the currents and streams, which is why the 3 ancient creatures are closely bound to the guardian of the ocean, Lugia.
So it might have been possible that they might have had primal forms in the past, maybe before they gave life to new Pokemon or created the legendary trios that we know of. Doing such a feat might have powered them down. You never know. We could assume. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on.
In the number 3 spot we have Palkia, Dialga, and Giratina. These 3 are considered the creation trio, or even the deity trio and dragon trio, which are commonly called by fans, that were created by Arceus. They all share primal traits. If they've been around for this long, there's no excuse for them not to have primal traits. And there's even evidence that Primal Dialga exists due to the Mystery Dungeon series.
Palkia and Dialga are controllers of time and space. An idea for a primal form for them could be that time and space were once combined at one point, and maybe due to an imbalance, the Pokemon split apart, forming the 2 Pokemon that we know of today. Just a random thought, I don't freaking know. Like Luke said, Primal Dialga is already a thing. Instead of a primitive form, however, this form was created out of rage. It's said that Dialga lost control of itself and completely froze time and refused to let it flow properly. And we're always seeing Dialga and Palkia fighting, so it could be possible that they might have powered down during a fight. But another thing, we do not know that much about Primal Groudon or Primal Kyogre either. They might not be primitive forms either. They might be repeating the same rage-inducing transformation that Dialga went through in the Mystery Dungeon series. We never know, but but we're just speculating that these are ancient forms. Because we can. We really just have to wait until these games come out. And of course, Giratina, basically the Satan of Pokemon, and it could possibly be powered down as well, and it would just look cool if it was given a primal form. That is about it. Let's move on.
In the number 2 spot, we have Mew. We all know who Mew is. He was part of the original 151 Pokemon, what was a nightmare to get your hands on. He is believed to be the ancestor of all Pokemon. Mewtwo was created from Mew, and Mewtwo gets 2 Mega Evolutions, so why doesn't Mew have any? It makes sense that Mew would have a primal form if it's considered to be the ancestor of all Pokemon.
And because of it being the ancestor, it has every single Pokemon's DNA in its body. That's what does not make sense to me. Yeah, I understand that Mewtwo is pretty freaking amazing. Yeah, give him Mega Evolutions. I understand that completely. It just doesn't make any sense to me that Mew ain't got jack squat while Mewtwo is getting everything and it's the clone of Mew. Plus, if Mew has the DNA of Pokemon that have primal forms and Mega Evolutions, why doesn't Mew have anything yet? I don't understand! Seriously, the lack of Mew love makes me so angry. I mean, if they do not give Mew a freaking primal evolution, or
Shelby.
What?
You okay?
I'm calm. I apologize. Unnecessary Mew rant. Just makes me mad, dude. Anyway, aside from childish Mew rants, let's go ahead and move on to number 1, shall we? Taking our number 1 spot is Arceus.
Well, basically, Arceus is God, and as I mentioned before, he created Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina. But he punished Giratina and sent him to the Distortion World. So the idea with Arceus is, maybe after creating everything, it fell into a deep slumber, and maybe it didn't recover properly, so it wasn't able to access its primal form anymore.
And also in the Arceus movie, of course the fairy type was not created yet, but apparently it had these 16 plates that gave it life, and as long as it had all 16, it was fully powered. But what if adding the fairy type plate will add on to its power and revert it back to its primal form? Just a random theory. I honestly don't even consider the anime to be canon at all because it contradicts so many game mechanics, but in any case, it's still an interesting thought. So, those are all the Pokemon that we think should have primal forms. What Pokemon would you like to see with a primal form? Or any kind of form, a Mega Evolution or just a generic evolution. Let us know all your opinions in the comments below. We would surely appreciate it and we will read all of them.
Thanks everyone for watching, and thank you Tricky for having me. It's been really fun.
Thank you so much, Luke. I do agree, it's been very, very fun. Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe, and please go check out Gameboy Luke's channel. You guys would love all of his stuff. His stuff is funny, and it's really interesting. So I encourage you to go to his channel and subscribe. Go, do it, or I'll kill you. Anyway, that is all for today. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!